Hello, everyone. Welcome back to our journey into the secrets of history. Today, we are going to talk about a face you all know. She has a mysterious smile. She has no eyebrows, and her eyes seem to follow you around the room. Yes, I am talking about the Mona Lisa. Today, she is the most famous painting in the world. Millions of people go to the Louvre Museum in Paris just to see her. They wait in long lines for hours. But did you know that she wasn't always a superstar? Before 1911, the Mona Lisa was just a respected, quiet painting. She wasn't on t-shirts or coffee mugs. Most people outside of the art world didn't even know who she was. So, what happened? What changed everything? The answer is a crime. A very bold, very simple, and very strange crime. Today, we are going to meet the man who stole the Mona Lisa and made her a legend. His name was Vincenzo Peruggia. He was not a professional thief. He wasn't a criminal mastermind. He was a simple Italian man. He worked as a handyman and a carpenter at the Louvre Museum. He even helped build the glass case that protected the Mona Lisa. Vincenzo was a proud Italian. He believed that the Mona Lisa belonged to Italy, not France. He thought wrongly that Napoleon had stolen the painting from Italy. Actually, Leonardo da Vinci brought it to France himself, but Vincenzo didn't know that. He had one simple dream to bring the Mona Lisa back home. The date was Monday, August 21st, 1911. The Louvre was closed for cleaning. It was a quiet morning. The only people inside were guards and workers. Vincenzo was wearing a white smock, just like all the other workers. He knew the museum perfectly. He knew where the guards went and when they took breaks. He entered the Salon Carré, the room where the Mona Lisa hung. He looked around. No one was there. His heart must have been beating very fast. He walked up to the painting. It was small, only about 77 by 53 centimeters. He lifted it off the wall. It was heavy because of the frame and the glass, but he was strong. He quickly carried it to a service staircase nearby. On the staircase, he had to work fast. He needed to remove the painting from its heavy frame. He used his tools to take off the protective glass and the wooden frame. He left the frame on the stairs and took only the painted wood panel. But then he faced a problem. The door at the bottom of the stairs was locked. He was trapped. He had the world's most famous painting under his arm, and he couldn't get out. He heard footsteps coming. Was it a guard? Was it the police? Luckily for him, it was just a plumber named Sauvé. Vincenzo acted calm. He complained to the plumber, "Hey, this doorknob is missing. I can't get out." The plumber, who didn't suspect anything, used his pliers to open the door for him. "Thank you," Vincenzo said. He walked out of the museum into the bright Paris sunlight. He hid the painting under his white smock. He walked to the bus stop, but the painting was too big. So he took a taxi back to his tiny apartment. Just like that, the Mona Lisa was gone. The crazy part is that nobody noticed for 28 hours. The guards thought the painting was with the photographers. The photographers thought it was being cleaned. Finally, a painter named Louis Beroud came to sketch the Mona Lisa. He saw an empty space on the wall. He asked the guards, "Where is she?" The guards checked. The photographers checked. Panic exploded in the museum. "It's gone! Someone stole it!" The museum closed for a week. The police searched everywhere. They even questioned the famous painter Pablo Picasso. But they couldn't find the thief. When the museum reopened, something strange happened. Thousands of people lined up to get in. But they didn't come to see art. They came to stare at the empty hook on the wall. People cried. They left flowers. Newspapers all over the world put the Mona Lisa on their front page. Who stole her? Where is she? Suddenly she was a celebrity. Everyone knew her face because it was in every newspaper. The theft made her famous. Meanwhile, where was the painting? Was it in a secret vault? Was it on a private island? No. It was in a small, messy apartment in Paris, just a few miles from the Louvre. Vincenzo kept it in a trunk with a false bottom. Sometimes he kept it under his stove. He lived with the masterpiece for 2 whole years. He ate his dinner next to it. He slept near it. Police even came to his apartment to question him because he was a former worker. They looked around his room. They saw his messy table and his trunk, but they didn't open the false bottom. Vincenzo played it cool, and the police left. It was the closest call of his life. After 2 years, Vincenzo grew impatient. He wanted to return the painting to Italy and become a national hero. In December 1913, he contacted an art dealer in Florence, Italy. The dealer's name was Alfredo Geri. Vincenzo wrote a letter signed Leonardo. He said, "I have the stolen work. It belongs to Italy." Alfredo Geri thought it was a joke, but he agreed to meet. They met in a hotel room in Florence. Vincenzo pulled out a wooden trunk. He threw aside some old socks, shirts, and shoes. And there at the bottom was the Mona Lisa. Alfredo Geri was shocked. He saw the official Louvre stamps on the back. It was real. He told Vincenzo, "I need to take this to the Uffizi Gallery to verify it. Wait here." Vincenzo waited, dreaming of his reward. But instead of a reward, the police arrived. Alfredo Geri had called them. Vincenzo was arrested. Vincenzo was confused. "I am a patriot," he shouted. "I did it for Italy." The Italian people actually loved him. They thought he was a romantic hero. He only served 6 months in jail. The Mona Lisa was displayed in Italy for a short time, and then returned to France. When she came back to the Louvre, she was treated like a queen. Now she wasn't just a painting. She was a survivor. She had a story. That is why, today, she sits behind bulletproof glass. That is why millions of people try to take a selfie with her. The story of the theft is almost more famous than the painting itself. It reminds us that value comes from stories. A simple carpenter with a big coat and a misguided dream turned a quiet portrait into the icon of the world. Maybe that's why she is smiling. She knows a secret that we are only just discovering. She has seen the bottom of a trunk, the inside of a coat, and the adoration of the world. So the next time you see a picture of the Mona Lisa, don't just look at her smile. Imagine her wrapped in a white smock, walking out of the Louvre on a sunny Monday morning. Imagine her hiding under a stove in a tiny apartment. It makes her seem a little more human, doesn't it? Thank you for listening to the incredible mystery of the missing smile. I hope you enjoyed this true crime story from the art world. See you in the next episode.